things I want to clarify for people, they get a little confused sometimes, is that the hyper healthy energy is within the technology itself, is within the system, within the room. The photons and that charge, does not go out through the walls. What does go through the walls is the scalar effect. And I want to share some of the research with that. The scalar effect is that null zone. It's called the EM null zone effect. So it's a nullification of detrimental and destructive fields. Okay, so with that research, you can actually go on our research page and see a California Edison Electric Company field survey where they found a total nullification with a Wi-Fi tower inside, a cell phone tower inside. It was that measured zero with, they went to the base of a power transformer, and that measured zero. Other people have gone, they have power plants within 2.2 miles of an installation of a system, and found that the 60 cycle field had been neutralized, nullified. It makes everything work better because these are carrier waves and allows all the communications and electronics and everything to work better with no detrimental and destructive fields for the body. It's a nullification and creating coherence, which is the real importance of this, that creating a coherent unified field effect, a 0 point that creates a nullification, a null zone effect that goes out 2.2 miles every direction. I'll give an example of that. I had somebody come who was a Los Alamos scalar physicist, came to one of my presentations, had about 100 people in a 12-unit system. I was doing a presentation, and he had told everybody that it was complete BS. Contingency of his students, or his group, he had a contingency, and he was there to prove that it was BS. So I begin my presentation, and after about the third slide, I had asked everybody to hold their questions. You've seen how I am with the PowerPoint. I try to get through the PowerPoint. I asked everybody to hold the questions till the end. Well, I was on about the third slide, and his hand goes up. He's in the very first seat in the very front, and he's a big guy with his arms crossed. And I find, okay. And he goes, I have to tell you who I am and why I'm here. I'm a Los Alamos scalar physicist. And he stands up, turns to everybody and goes, and this is the real deal.
Oh, that's good.
Because he had brought all his meters and all his measuring devices that were the highest level of a spook scientist, right? Los Alamos scalar physicist doing his thing. And so he's in, he's out, he's in the parking lot, and there's a cell phone tower in the parking lot. And he comes back in, and he's in and out. He's like, and his little group's following him in and out, in and out. He comes back in, and he's going, it's impossible, but it's really doing it. But it's impossible, but it's really doing it. This is the real deal. Because it was nullifying all the detrimental effects and radiation and fields off the cell phone tower.
Right.
By the second time he came, he had figured out the phase conjugate wave pairs and all, he had done his homework, and he was able to explain it to others how it was working.
That's fascinating.
People to know that if you want your healing, the hyper healthy energy is within the system. But for 2.2 miles, we want healthier communities, and it's not imposing anybody. Nobody's going to have a detox reaction or anything like that if they're in the community, but it does have that nullification of the detrimental and destructive fields.